Hey, what's going on guys? COLONELDAMNEDERS here, and like you, I have also pondered what is the good DLC to buy, what is the bad DLC to buy. I mean, I bought it all, but you know, I kind of make videos about Total War, so I kind of need it all. But for you, you only want to pick up a few pieces, you know, you want the good bits, you want the best bits, you want the bits that are going to give you that hot gameplay and give you them sweet, sweet victories in online battles. You don't want to be playing as these crappy racers that, you know, have awful units, and you don't want to be paying for it because, you know, you have no money, just like me. So I thought I'd make it easy for you. I'd make a top 10 of the best DLCs for Total War Warhammer 2. Number 1 will shock you. Let's get into this. As per most of these videos, when I'm counting down something, I'm reading from my phone because I can't have notes anywhere else and I don't have an eidetic memory, so apologies for that. But number 10, we have the Beastmen DLC. Now I know what you're saying, the Beastmen are pretty bad, but I agree. And also, there's not actually that much DLC for Total War Warhammer 2, so these bottom few ones are kind of a little bit not great. But you know, the Beastmen still can be pretty fun even if they aren't great. And also, yes, they are DLC for Warhammer 1, but buying them, you do get them in Warhammer 2, Mortal Empires. So, you know, it counts, alright? So you get 3 Legendary Lords and a full set of units. It's a lot of beast-based, obviously. Quite a few monsters, you know, the Minotaurs, the Cygors, the Gors. There's a lot of Gors, really. But yeah, they are very, very fun to play. It's a very unique playstyle, very hit and run. They, of course, are a Horde faction, which, you know, historically aren't really the best received with the community, and to be honest, the few times that I played them, I didn't love them too much, but their campaign that they get for Warhammer 1, it's alright, it's quite easy, and of course you go against Toddy, so you know, that's always fun, but you know, they're not too bad, and you can get them on a pretty good deal most of the time because, you know, they are quite old, and they're not that good, so you can get them for like £6, and for £6 getting a full race, 3 Legendary Lords, a whole set of units, and even a spare campaign if you have Warhammer 1, that's totally worth it. Coming in at number 9, I don't have enough hands, so 9. We have the Wood Elves, another faction from Warhammer 1 that was never really fleshed out. They did get their own campaign and it was quite tough, but again, it was quite short like the Beastmen one, so you know, it's not the main draw. The main draw is, of course, getting them in Mortal Empires. They all start quite close together, no matter if you pick Durthu or Orion. They start in Athaloran, the forest near the Great Oak Tree, and you know, they have a very unique playstyle, kind of a blend of Horde and settlements. Like, you can take settlements, but they don't really do that much for you, so they're basically a Horde faction with a mother base at home that you need to defend at all costs. You know, losing the Oak of Ages, it's pretty much game over, unless you're Legend of Total War, in which case, you know, you can just come back from the mountains with the Dark Elves and take it back like it's nobody's business. Like I said, you do get 2 Legendary Lords. You get Durthu and the Tree Men, who are like some of the most legendary large units in the game. They are amazing to watch on the field, even if, you know, they aren't the best, they are still fantastic. Slight missile magnets, but fantastic. They do need some sort of update and rework like the Beastmen, but you know, current state that they're in, it's not as bad as the Beastmen, so that's why they are one place higher, and again, you can get them on a deal for like £6 or £7, so you know, for what you get, it's pretty worth it and I'd highly recommend them. Coming in at number 8, we have the King and the Warlord. Now this gets you Belegar Iron Armor for the Dwarves, and it gets you Skarsnik for the Greenskins. Previous video is in the corners for both those guys. Now Belegar is one of the toughest melee lords in the game. He has insane armor and melee defense. He will literally sit in the middle of the enemy front lines and just take no damage, not do that much damage, but he'll take none, and your range units can just pick everything to shreds. He will stay there forever. He is probably one of the toughest lords in the game, but you know, that's basically the dwarves. They have just the thickest armor, the thickest boys. Skarsnik, he's got his little squig dude. He's all about, you know, sneaking and stabbing and stealing and raiding and lots of other inwards. You know, that's kind of the orc gameplay, as I covered in the guide, another plug. And both their campaigns, they kind of work against each other, so it's kind of a race to Karak 8 peaks for both of them. You know, if Skarsnik gets there, he can recruit orcs. Up to that point, he can only recruit goblins, and as we saw on the unit roster, goblins aren't really that great. You really want the orcs. Whereas Belegar, he has increased upkeep by like 200% until he gets there, if I remember correctly, and that is insane, so you want to get there as soon as possible, get the upkeep back, and both those campaigns, super duper fun, very difficult, but you know, very rewarding if you manage to get to the end game. Also, the units that you get with these guys, absolutely amazing. Like with Belegar, you get the Rangers, you get the Bolt Thrower, and you get something else, I can't quite remember, should have noted it down, but you get, I'll put it on screen. You get these guys, and all of the dwarf units, fantastic. And the greenskins, you get squigs, you get squig hoppers, and you get something else that has escaped my mind, but again, I'll put it here. But all of the units that you get with this DLC are fantastic. They are like staples of the game. When I played dwarves, what did I have in my starting army? I had bolt throwers. What did I have a little bit later? I had Rangers. When I started as Greensins, what did I have with my Cav? I had Squigs. They are so good. Completely worth it. And this pack is like £6 because it's a Lord pack. That's off sale. If you can catch it on sale, you can get it for like £3. That is insane. 100% worth picking it up. Finally, we get something that's actually for Warhammer 2 at number 7. We have the Queen and the Crone. Now this gets you Alariel the Radiant, and it gets you Crone Hellbron. These guys, both absolute force of nature. Alariel, she's a bit more of, life wizard. She can recruit those Wood Elf units, which, unique to her faction. That's very cool. And she also is a fantastic spellcaster. She ain't too bad in melee, but spellcasting's where it's at. And she also starts like right next door to the Shrine of Cain, so she can swipe that up and deal some ridiculous damage right out of the gate. Hellbron, she's a little bit different, than your Dark Elves. She holds Death Knights. She's very, all those guys, the Whip, Sisters of Slaughter, I think it's those, and the Witches that the Dark Elves have, all fantastic units they added with these guys. Alariel, she brings the Sisters of Avalon, the Sisters of Avalon. I said that wrong in another video and some guy got really angry about it. They also get the Handmaidens, which are basically Sisters of Avalon, but as a hero. Both these guys, fantastic units. I think she gets one more. I keep forgetting the third for some reason, but I remember reading this, and her units that she gets are fantastic. Hellbron, she gets 3 units as well. I think it's the Death Hags, the Sisters of Slaughter, and something else. I can't remember all these units, I'm sorry. But they are all super good units. I promise. They're all super good units that you get with these guys. And it's also like, these guys are available in the Vortex, so you get their 2 Vortex campaigns, and then you can also play them in Mortal Empires. So if you think about it, you kind of get 4 campaigns in this one DLC, which I think is a pretty great deal. So, for £6, again, you can get it on sale for like a lot less than that, and it's 100% worth it. So wait for a sale, pick it up, you might as well. It's some great content. Prophet and the Warlock, now we are getting to some actual really good DLC. Prophet and the Warlock, it brought to Halloween, I think, and also Ikit Claw, and oh my god, these guys absolutely topped it. Tehennowyn, I mean, he's alright, but he did bring some fantastic units. He brought the Ancient of the Gods Stegodon, which does insane damage with that ability. He brought the Red Crested Skinks, again, insane damage, and he brought those Salamanders that shoot fire, insane damage. Ikit Claw, he brought Rattling Guns, Jez Tails, and something else, I keep forgetting the third one. I put it here, but he brings fantastic units. Both these guys are worth getting for the units alone. Even if you never use the Lords, which you totally should, especially Ikit Claw, you should buy these guys for the units. They are amazing and will absolutely make your campaigns 100% easier, I promise you. Ikit Claw also gets access to the Forbidden Workshop, which is exclusive to him, and lets him build nukes, which is it's just amazing. If you have not seen them in action, I'll put one on screen now. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I don't even like the Skaven, and I think that he is so much fun, an absolute blast to play. He's amazing, super strong in battle. He can dominate the whole campaign map without sweat. 100% picking up for the full price. If you get on sale, even better. Bit of a controversial pick. I've gone with Norsca for number 4. Now, hear me out. Norsca were added at the end of Warhammer 1, basically when Warhammer 2 was coming out. They came out, and, they haven't really been touched that much since, but they are actually a pretty decent faction. And coming from Warhammer 1 to Warhammer 2 and standing up fairly well, that's pretty impressive. Like, all the factions have had a rework except Norsca, well, not all of them. But all the factions are due for a rework. The Empire have had theirs, the Dwarves have had theirs, Bretonnia haven't really been touched, the Vampires had theirs, Greenskins are gonna get theirs probably, but Norsca haven't really been touched, and even when you just play with AI and the AI plays Norsca, they absolutely dominate. They take over the entire north of the map, start creeping down, causing problems for Bretonnia and Empire and the Dwarves. They just cause so much chaos. They are super strong, and they have a full roster of completely cool units. They have mammoths, they have skin wolves, they have them things with the hammers. They are so good, and they've got some great lords, like they have the only troll lord in the game, Throg. He just comes down, starts smashing stuff with his hammer. And they also have Wulfric the Wanderer, and he has these awesome missions where you go and hunt monsters, obviously. And then once you've hunted them, you can recruit them into your army. So you go take down this big ass mammoth, and it's like, okay, we took it down. Let's get one in the back, and then just start steamrolling all the enemies. It's amazing. These guys are a great pickup, and they're a lot cheaper than most of the other races. They kind of just come with, accessing Mortal Empires or Warhammer 1. They don't have their own campaign, so they're a bit cheaper than the Beastmen and the Wood Elves, and they are 100% worth picking up and giving a try at least once. Did I say Norsca were number 4? I meant they were number 5, because Hunter and the Beast are actually number 4. I just can't count. Hunter and the Beast is the most recently released DLC, and it is also one of my favourites that I've played so far. It might just because it's fresh in my mind, but playing it, man was it fun. So you unlock Marcus Wolfheart in the Vortex and Mortal Empires campaign. He basically runs the Empire, which is pretty much the community's favourite faction, into the Vortex campaign. Of course he's not going after Vortex, he doesn't care about that. He is wandering out into Lustria to try and capture it, take it from, you know, the 16 other people that live there, but it's so much fun. You literally just have to expand as quickly as possible. You have to fight against Nakai, who is the other faction that was added in this. Very clever that. He's a Horde faction. He's not the most loved by the community. Had a little play of him earlier. He's not that great, but Marcus, 100% worth it. If you can catch it on a deal just to get it for Marcus, it's so good. He also introduces some great units. The most powerful Regiment of Renown in the game, I believe, with that, I can't remember what it's called, the War Wagon with the Hellblaster. It is ridiculously strong. Just put some footage of it on screen now. It is stupidly strong at taking out literally anything. I took it into the final battle. I put it against that Dread Saurian. Final battle, by the way, my favourite that I've played so far. Might just be me, might just because it's new, but it was the most fun battle that I've played so far against this huge army. I won't spoil it. But basically the final battle, there's this Dread Saurian, which is another unit added with Nakai, and I sent this Hellblaster War Wagon against it, and it literally melted it like Swiss cheese. It was off the battlefield before it even touched my men. Complete waste of that unit, but oh my god, 100% worth it. And the Heroes mechanic, another fantastic thing. It gives the campaign some actual direction, rather than just, you know, leveling up so that you can get to the final battle and waiting around to do the rituals. You have to actively go out and find resources and destroy factions and, you know, take settlements that your heroes want you to take. And if you do, then they get great bonuses for you. They level up and get super strong, get really great arms. It's just a fantastic campaign. Like I said, Nakai, not the best, but I think it's 100% worth it for Marcus. I'm going to go out and say it. Maybe not on full price, but if you can get it on deal for like under £10, I'd say pick it up. It's 100% worth it. Coming up in number 3 on the podium, it hurts me to say this, but it's the Vampire Coast. When they first came out and the trailer first dropped, I saw that trailer and I was hyped. I thought they were going to be the best faction in the game. And they're pretty good, but, you know, they're not amazing. They're alright. They have some issues. A lot of the units are a bit lackluster. The ranged focus kind of is a detriment to themselves. But, you know, they are still really fun and they are still pretty strong. So you get 4 Lords with this one, so that's pretty impressive. You get Luther Harkon, you get Count Noctilus, you get Aranessa Saltspite, and how the hell do you say that? Silostra Diaphyn. So you get these 4 Lords, 4 legendary captains. Luther Harkon, he has a fractured mind, he's got multiple personality disorder, so it's basically like every time he goes a little bit more insane, it's like playing a new Lord all over again. You know, you basically play like 5 or 6 Lords, or however many it is, over the course of the campaign as he goes slightly more insane, and then you unify his mind, and then he becomes, you know, a really, really great Lord, especially with that mount of his. Seems to be a bit of a thing with this DLC, by the way. All the Lords, fantastic mounts, if you can get them. Like Noctilus, he has the Necrofex, Diaphyn, she has the big shell monster, and Luther, he has the zombie dragon. They are all fantastic, fantastic Lords. The unit roster, like I said, very ranged focus, but there's a lot of great monsters, and also a few air superiority monsters. You know, you get them flying deck droppers that shoot the enemy from the air. They are super strong, especially in the early game. They can absolutely mop up if the enemy lets them. They also come with loads of unique things. They get the ship mechanic where they can upgrade and recruit on the move. They get pirate codes and they can steal money from other settlements held by other people. So you don't even have to be at war with the High Elves. You can just go set up a pirate cove and then just leech their money for the entire game, which once you get to the end of the game, you're getting several thousand gold per turn from a single pirate cove. That is absolutely insane. You also get a unique faction ending. You know, when playing for the Vortex, you are raising your infamy until you are the most infamous pirate, so you can go and harpoon this big monster and, I don't know, get it to fight for you. It's been a while since I've played it. Yeah, you have the pieces of 8, and when you collect these by defeating other pirates in battle, you gain regiments of renown, so it's no longer just leveling your hero. You can go out and kill these guys, you can get them way before you know you have to reach level 40 and grind for ages. You can just focus on getting these guys, which I think is a very nice touch. Again, they are quite expensive as DLC goes, but if you can catch it on a sale, it's 100% worth it. I think it's worth it at full price, which is pretty much what I paid, but if you want to wait for a sale, that is 100% okay, and you will not regret it. Coming up in number 2, who do you think it is? Oh, really? Oh, I see. No, you're wrong, it's the Tomb Kings, and they are fantastic. Again, you get 4 Lords, you get Cetra, you get Khalida, you get Arkan, and you get Katep, and they are all fantastic. Again, great mounts for these guys. Cetra gets that big War Sphinx in his chariot. the architect guy, he gets the Casket of Skulls thing, so he's basically an artillery unit lord. How cool is that? And all of the lords are fantastic in melee. It's quite like the vampires, you know, they are quite headlined by their lords. They do a lot of work, either magical damage or just raw damage output like Cetra. Did you see that tournament? He does insane AP damage. And Arcan, one of the toughest undead lords in the game. Tomb Kings, they don't care about the Vortex, they are going after the 9 Books of Nagash, and once you finish getting some of those 9 Books of Nagash, you can enter this battle, and the final battle is one of the most fun in the game. I wouldn't say it's the most fun, but it is up there. Fighting under this floating pyramid against this huge Tomb King assault versus your elite army that you built up from the start of the game, led by Cetra, storming into battle. It is fantastic, it's cinematic, it is wonderful. The unit roster, oh, it is great. The melee troops, you know, they aren't the best, but it's undead. What do you really expect? You need to be a bit more clever than that. The ranged units, like I said, the Casket of Souls and the Screaming Skull Catapult, so cool, and the giant bows and the Ustabi, yeah, those units, they're really cool. All the units in this faction have a great look to them. The Tomb Scorpions, they have so many great units. There's too many to list. Just check them out up on the screen now. They are amazing. 100% worth trying. Again, one of the more expensive DLCs because it's Warhammer 2, it's a full faction, you get 4 legendary lords. You know, it's just how it is, but if you can catch it on a sale, 100% worth it. Again, it is worth it outside of sale, but if you're looking for a deal, wait for it. Now, number 1, you may be thinking, what can top the Tomb Kings? What can top the Vampire Coast? What can be better than the Beastmen? You may not have expected this, but the best DLC for Total War Warhammer 2 is Total War Warhammer 1. Hear me out. Now, it's not technically a DLC, it is its own game, but at this point it is basically an add-on for Warhammer 2. What do you get if you buy Warhammer 1 while you own Warhammer 2? You get Mortal Empires. What is Mortal Empires? It is, in my opinion, the most in-depth and varied campaign in any strategy game ever. In my opinion, please don't shoot me. But what do you get? You get access to the 4 factions from Warhammer 1, which now have a combined, let me check my notes, just a combined 15 lords, plus any of the DLC that you have for Warhammer 1. You can have up to like 20 plus lords just coming from Warhammer 1 if you unlock Mortal Empires. And of course you can play all the Warhammer 2 people in there, so you basically get like 30 new campaigns that you can play in the Mortal Empires campaign. Fair enough, it's just a sandbox, you know, there's no objectives other than domination, but that's insane. You can have Ikit Claw going to take on Karl Franz while at the same time Chaos is coming down being fought off by Nakai the Wanderer. It's insane. And all of the DLC that's getting added to it is getting added to Mortal Empires too. So if anything gets added to the Vortex campaign, like a new faction, they're getting added to Mortal Empires. When Warhammer 3 comes out, they say that they're going to merge them all together. So if you own 3 games, you'll have Mortal Empires plus Warhammer 3 characters. It's insane. It is 100% worth it. It's on sale for like £10 you can get it for. That's cheaper than some of these DLCs. Get it and play Mortal Empires, you will not regret it. It's the best downloadable content for Warhammer 2, even though it isn't technically downloadable content, but it is. So there you go. If you got this far in the video, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree with any of these and you think, oh, the Beastmen are number 1, which, you know, that's a fair point actually, then leave that in the comments down below. I really want to hear it. I really want to know what you think. If you like this video at any point, please do consider leaving it a like. It really does help out a lot. If you want to see more videos like this or any other kind, I do lots of guides, I do news, I do maybe other strategy games at some point, you know, if Total War ever dries up. Subscribe, stick around, I would really appreciate it. We've been doing really well recently. We passed like 2.5 thousand subscribers, which is insane. I can't imagine 2.5 thousand people looking at me. Makes me feel a little bit self-conscious, but you know, I really appreciate it. Love you all. For now, I was COLONELDAMNEDERS, and I'll see you next turn.